Hi, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Your Come Up. We're on Your Come Up. We talk about all topics to help you come up: business, finance, personal, spiritual, and physical. Today, we're going to have a conversation here with Owen, also known as Unleash the Knowledge on his Instagram handle. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining. Don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell notification so you don't miss your come up. And today's video is sponsored by Yapix Web Design and Graphics. Good morning, Owen. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for doing this again, my man. Thank you.
Always.
Got a couple questions to ask you. First question is, how does one collab with an individual on social media? Whether you're trying to make videos or probably in terms of video making, how does one approach and collab with a potential social media influencer?
Yeah, it's a great question. So first and foremost, I'd say you have to lead with value. Mm-hmm. Don't use the whole, I want to pick your brain. Can I hop on a call? I want to run something by you. You want to condense a message at least into a couple sentences that's short to read, that is concise enough, that gets the point across, but explains who you are, what you're doing, how you can provide value to them, and then obviously what your request may be. I mean, yeah, I've been preaching this for a while, that even through email and now DMs, you could really truly meet anybody today. It's just simple shooting your shot, if you want to use that, so to speak, or just your ability to send a message, reach out to them in whatever fashion that may be, whether it's social media, email, LinkedIn messaging, whatever that may be. But always got to lead with value. That's the number one pillar. Most people are always looking for take and not give, but you want to give, and then ask for a potential take down the road.
Sure.
So that's the main value right there. I tell that person that's looking to collab with influencers, or really anyone for that matter, whatever you're, sending them the message from, say it's Instagram. You obviously want to build out your Instagram page so it looks clean and it looks aligned with that person for what they're doing, if that's why you're reaching out to them for, because obviously they're going to go back and check what's going on with you before they even answer you, and you want to have that social proof to some degree. Even if you don't have any of that, just simply praising somebody or at least showing that you've consumed some of their content as well is a big key. So, hey, definitely. I just watched this video of yours from this interview. I thought it was amazing. I loved at this point, and this point. It's great to connect. I'm doing this now. I'd love to get your insight on blah, 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 because, whatever that may be. But I do think you should make it known that you've at least consumed some sort of their content. And again, always lead with value.
Oh, 100% agree. Like right now, I am trying to get a dating coach on your come up. Whether it be Logan, Yuri, I emailed her, but she said she was busy. I'm coming at you, girl, again. or a dating coach at that fact. And the way I lead in the DMs, and I just don't start with or stop with the DMs. I also check out their website. If they have a YouTube channel or a podcast.
Definitely.
Give a little taste of it, and then send them an email as well, because people check their emails way more frequently than they do their DMs. And I just say, hey, we'd love to feature on my YouTube channel, Your Come Up. I'll edit the video, I'll submit to you for your blessing, and I'll also give you a file so you can upload on your YouTube channel too. It's been getting like a 20-25% response rate, because not everyone's going to respond to you. They're probably genuinely busy or just don't give a darn. But at least you're giving something in return, you're doing the work, and you're giving them content on their channel so they can promote themselves or, bring it back to them.
Definitely. You bring up a good point where you don't just send that one DM through just Instagram. Mm-hmm. Maybe, give it a little breathing room, then send them an email, check out their other contact information, LinkedIn, whatever that may be. You want to stay on top of their mind, of course, but you do want to be persistent. I mean, persistent, but not be pushy and not be just overloading them. So, a lot of my success has been rooted by persistence, just literally doing something every single day, or, battling through the low points so that you can reach the high points. But yeah, it's a good point too. I mean, in terms of you're giving them free exposure, and you're also providing files for them to repurpose on their own, which everyone loves content, and everyone, you can never have enough content. So people are always looking to push out new info that has to do with them. Mm-hmm. And then one last piece I'll include too is it's okay to have somewhat of a skeleton email template, but if you're using the same one for months on end and you're not getting any improvement,
Change
to have a couple different variations. Change up that subject header, the subject line, because that's obviously going to be why they click on the email. Not everyone even clicks on emails. They don't, if they're not enticed by the subject line, they won't even get to the body of the paragraph or the body of the email. So whatever you say there won't even be seen. But yeah, definitely switch up the copy. I mean, literally probably every few weeks, if not on a daily basis, and just see what converts better.
What's your favorite subject line before I go into the next question? Because the one I use that seems to be okay is the subject is, I know you're busy, but what do you use? Or
yeah,
it's your favorite?
Oh man, I definitely don't have like one that I just call upon. I'll say that. However, I always seem to lead with like, "Hey, Nathan!" exclamation point. I don't know. I always want to say "Hey," and then
that's awesome.
Then I'll say because I think that goes back to the how to win friends and influence people by saying someone's name, or the visual of seeing your name is just like, I don't know, it's an ego trip. You get so excited and you just want to see what that person has to say. That also shows that even if it is a copy and pasted subject line, you took the time to change their name, so it's personalized to them. So I think that's really maybe that's why it does so well.
No, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, and then from there, it's probably just I don't know. This idea may change your life. This might put you in a better position. Just something that's like, pretty extreme to some point that they're going to click, but it's not a lie. Obviously, I'd hopefully be telling. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. But one other thing actually I just found, and I'm big on this. I'm trying to learn a lot about copywriting right now. So how to write sales copy and how to write language that makes people want to buy and so forth. So someone I've come across is Neville. He runs copywriting course, I think is the website, but he literally has a blog on there that is a subject line generator. So it's, you type in the subject or whatever you want to get across, and then he has like, 10 examples. So I'd encourage people to check out that. I have no affiliation with Neville, never met him, but it's helpful for me. It just gives you an idea. Another kind of, obviously he's killing it in that world. So you should learn from someone like that.
Oh, for sure. No, copy is a high income skill right there, always. So,
yeah.
All right. Next question, my man. How does one stay motivated in life for their come up? Because, hey, life is not easy out there.
Yeah. That's a good question too. I'd say I read a lot about startups and entrepreneur early days where just they've been getting kicked in the face, and then obviously you picked up the book because you know what they are today, like an Airbnb, Steve Jobs, Apple, so forth. Right. So where they've reached, but you don't know the story of how they got there. And I'm even on my own podcast, I love asking the question, what were you doing at 18 to 20 years old? What were you doing at 25 to get you to the person you are today at 45, being a, whatever that may be, best-selling author, speaker, entrepreneur. So I'm always trying to uncover those early days. So by reading stories about that and biographies of when people got, kicked in the face and stomped on and so forth, and then had persistence to keep going, it motivates me. It's like, all right, today's a bad day, but I have to have these bad days to have the good days. So, sure. You got to appreciate the highs because you went through the lows. So that's my best advice, honestly, to stay motivated, by almost injecting not negative talk, but stories of persistence and turnaround and 180 degree movements of someone who was down bad and then became someone potentially wildly successful. It just motivates me to know that they went through it, so that if I'm going through it, it's okay. I'm obviously not an outlier. Most things we've all gone through have also been, others have gone through it the same. Right. Even the most wild events. That's my best advice in terms of how to stay motivated. I would read books, listen to podcasts, watch movies. Movies are the best down bad and then success stories.
Sure.
So yeah.
I don't know what salesperson doesn't know about that infamous Ben Affleck boiler room scene with the conference room.
I just watched that actually recently.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The only thing I would probably add to it, because I think what you point out was great, is what helps me is in the Bible, the book of Proverbs, it talks about.
Oh, of course.
The power of the tongue has the power to give you life and death. So whatever you speak in yourself, that you're gonna inhabit that. And then also, when you do something you enjoy doing, even though it's tough, because at first you feel like you're just banging your head against the wall, you're doing it for the right reasons. You enjoy doing it. As a consequence, eventually the right people will come to you. Like, you know, I was watching videos on starting YouTube, how long it takes to get monetized, how many videos you have to create to get 1,000 subscribers and all that. And some people go viral after their 10th video. Some people are like, dude, after 100 videos, I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. And it's just like, okay, well, look, let's be honest here. We do YouTube because eventually we want YouTube to start paying us rent, right? But but it goes back to what you're saying before. Provide the value first.
Right.
And in return, the people will provide you value in return by subscriber, liking, or sharing your stuff. So, you know, just do the right things for the right reasons and the right people will come to you, right?
I agree, man.
Last question. You're a book guy. I'm not. I just write books, a few of them. I'm more of a coffee person than a book guy. But what?
I hear you.
In your opinion, what are 3 books to read before you die?
Powerful question. The first one is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And that actually connects to the point of my answer previously of what motivates you. You know, after you learn from a firsthand account of going through the Holocaust and all these concentration camps, I mean, nothing's a problem that we go through today. So that was one of the books I've read this year, probably like my 3rd book, and long overdue, but great book. I'd encourage everybody to read that. Just gives you such perspective on, again, that last question, like when you're down bad and when things are not working well, it's truly your purpose and your meaning that keeps you going forward. You know, he says in the book that the reason why he made it through these camps and years on end of being a prisoner is that he had this book ready to write. He actually had a manuscript almost done, and he lost it, or it got stolen by one of the Nazi soldiers, and then he had to rewrite it all from memory. But that's truly like why he, I guess, said that he made it through, because he never lost hope, because he always had that purpose and that meaning that once he got out, he was going to write this book and it was going to impact millions, hopefully. So that book's incredible. Yeah, can't praise that enough. Second book I've mentioned many times, probably with you, but The Third Door by Alex Benign. I'll always go back to that again because, and that goes to the cold outreach and our first question. So these are really tying in pretty nicely, where there's always a way, and there's always a way to connect with somebody, whether they're prolific, whether they're whatever, a nobody, whatever you want to call them, you know, whatever their influence level is, you can connect with them, especially in today's world. Definitely, you know, regardless of time period, I think, yes. But today, DMs, email, just so easy to get people's contact information. It's so easy to, I'm learning that I'm like 1 degree separated from so many seriously prolific people, you know, the 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
I think it's less than that for most people, honestly, especially with social media. Like, you don't know, someone might be following you who might be a buddy of someone, you know, who's doing some good work.
You never know.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of shooting your shot, providing value, you know, not asking for too much, and always, you know, looking to see how you could help them so that one day they could help you. But for me, it's really just building the relationship. That's always been my focus. I think relationships are one of the greatest assets you can have in a lifetime. And you do right by somebody, they'll do right by you. And when you need them most, you know, hopefully they'll be there for you, and vice versa. But yeah, The Third Door is incredible. Alex has been awesome with me, and he's got a new book coming out this year, or this year, next year, I believe. So that'd be exciting. I have no idea what it's about. Don't think you could really do a part 2 to The Third Door because he had to live that experience, but who knows? We'll have to see. And then last book is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. So really good book. Love Robin's work. Huge fan of what he does. I've read pretty much all of his books. He also has a book coming out in the spring, which I'm super excited for, and I think it's actually his last. He's just kind of, you know, he's written a ton. He's done this leadership expert lifestyle with working with CEOs and billionaires and so forth. I think he's done with all that after this book comes out, and he's well, this is what he says in his Instagram captions, that he's like going to go he's going to go start a restaurant in a remote area where there's no advertising, no address. You have to go find him to you know, to get food, which is interesting because I went to Barbados actually when I graduated undergrad with my girlfriend, and we found this restaurant place that literally is just like, it was just a shack in this one place, and it was amazing, great food. And it was actually an American guy that opened it, but no signs, no advertisement, just this like one, you know, sweet place on the island. But anyway,
nice.
Yeah, Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It's that book, along with all of Robin's work, are written as fiction, but they have nonfiction practical tips embedded into them. So that's why I love it so much, because it reads like a journey, it reads like a fictional story, because it is, but there's practical knowledge in there that you can actually go take action on after you read the book. So yeah, Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is like it's like a 10 principle kind of tip book as you progress through it, and they're all good knowledge. So those 3 books are major for me. Definitely read those before you die.
Powerful right there. Well, Owen, thank you again for your time today. And thank you guys for watching your come up. Until next time.